The man who woke up a billionaire, James Whitaker, had always known exactly how much was in his bank account, $327.14. That's what remained after rent, groceries, and the never-ending parade of late fees. Every morning, he shuffled into his tiny one-bedroom apartment, clutching a lukewarm coffee from the corner store, praying his 1998 Honda would start one more time. His life was a series of exhausted sighs and invisible dreams. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't ungrateful. He just couldn't seem to get ahead. The tech startup he poured his soul into collapsed 2 years ago. Since then, life had been one job after another, never enough to build, only just enough to survive. It was a Wednesday morning when everything changed. James groaned awake to the familiar rattle of his old ceiling fan. The light outside was soft yellow, unusually quiet for the city. He reached for his cracked phone. Notifications exploded across the screen like fireworks. James Whitaker wins $2.4 billion lottery. He blinked. What the hell? He clicked one of the links. His name, his face, awkwardly captured from a social media photo, was plastered all over the internet. James Whitaker, 34, of Brooklyn, has won the largest single lottery payout in New York history. He sat up in bed, the sheets tangling around his legs like vines. He hadn't even bought a ticket, had he? Then he remembered, a joke. A month ago, during a rare moment of joy, his friend Elena had dragged him into a corner bodega and insisted, "You never know. Just buy one. For once in your life, gamble on luck." He'd picked random numbers, stuck the ticket in his wallet, and forgot it. James's hands trembled as he tore open his old leather wallet. There it was, slightly crumpled, but intact. He compared the numbers. Every one of them matched. He didn't scream. He didn't cheer. He sat there, silent, as the weight of the world shifted beneath him. By noon, his street was swarming with reporters and curious neighbors. His phone rang constantly, strangers claiming to be long-lost cousins, investment firms with once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and friends he hadn't heard from in years. He ignored them all. Elena was the only person he called. She showed up with a six-pack and tears in her eyes. They sat on the fire escape like they always had, watching the sun dip behind the skyline. "I don't know what to do," James whispered. "I have everything I've ever dreamed of, but I'm terrified." "Why?" "Because, who am I now, if I'm not struggling?" Elena put her head on his shoulder. "Maybe you're just someone who finally got a break. You don't owe anyone an apology for that." The first week was chaos. Lawyers, financial advisors, interviews he refused to attend. He moved into a quiet house upstate, nestled in the woods, where no one knew him. He tried to breathe. He bought his parents a house, paid off Elena's student loans, donated to the animal shelter where he used to volunteer. He finally had the power to fix things, and he did, but the money didn't silence the echo. It amplified it. Late at night, in a house too big for one man, James stared at the ceiling, wrestling with guilt. Why him? Why not the single mother in the grocery line counting coupons? Why not the mechanic who worked 12 hours a day with oil under his nails and a crooked smile? He had everything, but the joy didn't follow. The poverty had left bruises that didn't fade just because the world had stopped hitting point. One morning, he woke up and didn't check his bank balance. Instead, he wrote a letter. "Dear me, 1 year ago. You're waking up right now, broke, hopeless, scared, wondering how long you can keep going. I want you to know you're stronger than you believe. You will get a break. You'll be okay. But money won't fix the pain. It won't erase the years of scraping by. You have to heal that yourself. Slowly. Kindly. Don't forget who you are. The best parts of you were never tied to your paycheck." Love, James. Months passed. James started a foundation, quietly, under a different name. It offered mentorship and seed money to small business owners and single parents. He didn't want his face on it. He just wanted to be the helping hand he'd once needed, and still, every Friday, he met Elena at the same old fire escape. She never treated him differently. Sometimes, they didn't talk about the money at all. "I'm proud of you," she said one evening, handing him a warm beer. "For what?" "For staying you." He smiled. "I didn't, not at first. I got lost. The money, it screamed so Loud, it was hard to hear myself. And now? Now I'm listening again. 1 year after he woke up a billionaire, James returned to the bodega where he bought the winning ticket. The owner, Mr. Reyes, blinked in surprise. James. My God, it's really you. He handed Mr. Reyes a plain envelope. What's this? Enough to fix the roof. And retire, if you want. Tears welled in the old man's eyes. Why? Because you were always kind. When I had nothing, you gave me coffee I couldn't pay for. Mr. Reyes smiled, his hands shaking. Some people forget where they came from. James stepped out into the sunlight, heart full, not because he was a billionaire, but because, after all he'd gained and lost, he finally remembered who he was, and that was worth everything.